Hello, hello, amazing people. How are you doing tonight? On this Wednesday, 11/11, you guys know 11/11 is a special day for many reasons. So I'm really excited that today is the day that I get to have this amazing interview. So, like I always do, before we start, we just get some eyes on us. If you are here and you are used to joining me, drop those yellow hearts because you know I love the yellow hearts. If this is your first time joining me, definitely let me know you're here. If you are excited to see STEEZO, let us know as well. So today I am streaming from New Jersey. You guys know I state hop. That's what I do. Got back from Georgia. I don't even think it's been a week, and I was in Vegas before that. It's very exciting to have offices in 3 states, but I feel like I live out of a suitcase. So I'm really excited to be streaming from my home in New Jersey. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the hearts. I love it. All right, guys. So I hope that you are ready for this conversation. And so one of the things I love to do is interview artists. For me, it's not just about like the accolades. It's not about just their craft or their art. It's about diving deep into who they are, why they are, and how they think, how they tick, what their fears are. Because I know there are a lot of you out there who have these big dreams and this vision and an aspiration to walk out on faith and live in your art. And sometimes that's really hard to do. So I think it's really important to talk to people and understand the why, the how, and to know that it's not always what it appears to be, right? On social media. It's not always the fun and the games. And so that is the purpose of this conversation. I am so excited to get at the mind behind the music. Those of you, so I know there's some people who, STEEZO's kind of new. You're like, okay, I love her. But you didn't see the climb. Those of you who have seen the climb, then you know that this is a journey that she had to stay fully dedicated to in order to get where she is and to get where she's going, quite frankly. And so I'm just really excited to talk about that. So please, let's welcome the guest of the evening, STEEZO.
Period. You barely got to say it, and my smile just went from here to here. What's up, Onyx? How are you?
So, first of all, I love your backdrop.
Thank you.
I am all about, the brand, and I just love how you represent your brand always. Always.
Have to. That's number one for any aspiring artist. Build that brand and make sure you promote the crap out of it. For real.
Now, I'll tell you, even for myself, in the whole Onyx Keisha brand, sometimes it's you can feel a little insecure about constantly promoting yourself and talking about the brand, right? Self-conscious. So do you ever feel that way? And how do you get past that?
The brand has to be promoted. Promotion makes money. It's how I eat. So I'm never, I'm never one of those people that's super duper in your face, but you're going to see this logo. There's a way to do it to where it's not, forcing people to see you. It's more so like when people see you, they feel like they're a part of you. They feel like they're with you. Like, it's like when I see that STEEZO name, I know that I'm getting, you see the love and the peace symbol. Like, I know that I'm getting those things and those vibes. So
yeah, I sit in PR classes and marketing classes that spend semesters teaching that knowledge that you just dropped. Listen,
I've
guys.
been through some classes. I will say it's, you have to learn. You definitely have to learn. You don't naturally know everything.
Absolutely. So one of the ways that I love to start my start and end my interviews is I like to start with a quote. I always pick a quote that I feel like represents the person or comes to mind when I think of them. And then I love to end my interviews with your quote. So those of you who are watching, stay tuned because we're going to have a STEEZO quote coming later. But I want to start this conversation with this quote that just, when I read it, it reminded me of you so much. Like, to be honest, there were a couple of Jay-Z quotes that I was like, damn, did STEEZO say this?
Close enough. It's similar minds. I would say that for sure.
Yes. So this quote right here, it says, you can want success all you want, but to get it, you can't falter, you can't slip, you can't sleep. One eye open, for real and forever, Jay-Z. How do you relate to this quote?
I haven't slept in weeks. And I really relate to it just because it's truth. You know, it's truth. Like, you literally have to keep one eye open for it. See, I would take that quote really deep. I would take it so much deeper.
Take it deep. STEEZO, take it deep.
Okay, do this for me. Say it one more time so I can pinpoint every single thing that I want to in it.
Absolutely. So you can want success all you want, but to get it, you can't falter.
Yeah.
You can't slip. You can't sleep. One eye open, for real, forever.
Yeah, you have to put in the work. You can want it you can want it all day. There's so many people who want the dream, but one thing's for sure, two things for certain, you have to grind. And one thing about me is I'm constantly outdoing myself. And that's what I get from the quote. Like, you are going to have to, it's one thing to just work, but you have to understand, like, this is a battlefield. You have to outwork everybody who's coming for what you're doing, what you want. You have to balance the industry, and all of their, I'm just gonna say, all, you know, everybody knows the music industry has their things. You got to fight the music industry. You got to fight the haters. Speaking of haters, I just dropped a new single called Haters, coming out soon. But it's so much that you just have to stay on top of to actually make it in this industry and to actually see your dreams come to fruition. So that's what I get from that quote. Just like, you're going to have to put in the work. There's nothing else.
I love that because it's not magic.
No.
It's not.
Don't you wish you could just snap it on it?
Right. I wish it was like, bam, film, bam.
And there it goes. And
bam, award. No.
It's not. It's not that.
It really is the hard work. You can be super talented, but if you are not disciplined and if you do not work on your skill, you are going to be stagnant.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I can say about you. You are constantly evolving. You're constantly working. And it's something that I really, really admire. So let's go back a little bit. Okay. So I want to know, who was STEEZO as a child? Like, what was your childhood like? Did you have friends? Were you popular? Like, who were you as a child?
You know, I found out that I was popular later. Like, I found out when I got older that I was actually the popular kid, but I was also the bullied kid. I was also, and it's funny, I definitely wanted to highlight a piece of this. Some of my childhood, I worked to remember because I think there was a lot of trauma. And so I made myself forget. And so I've really been doing digging to understand who I was as a child. I do remember my gay encounters that I didn't know were gay. I had a great childhood. I do remember being raised to be perfect, though, whatever that is, you know, head up, speak up, you know, all of these things, get good grades, you know, stay on top, push. I will be honest, I don't remember a lot of my childhood, but from what I put together, is that I have always been me, but at some point in my childhood, I tried to be like everyone else because I knew instantly once I started getting bullied that I was different. And,
Mm,
I love to tell this story. I wore 2 bras. I've never had titties, never had a booty, never had
mhm.
titties. I remember as a kid, around 12, when most girls start maturing and, getting their little lady lumps, I wasn't getting them. So I would wear 2 bras just to look more like them and feel more like them and be accepted. And I remember this moment that really changed everything for me. We had a dress like a boy day. You know how they do like red ribbon week and you just do these different things like, tacky day and things of the sort. There was a dress like the opposite sex day. I think that's the craziest day they could have ever had at a middle school, but I dressed
Right.
like a boy. And every girl there told me that if I were a boy, I would be their boyfriend.
Wow.
And, I think I was the very first catfish. I always wanted to be their boyfriends,
Yeah.
probably even acted like some of their boyfriends, but, I had boyfriends, they had boyfriends,
Right.
and so we just kept things on the hush. But I remember being STEEZO. That's what I remember. And I remember people trying to change that. And I
Mm,
almost fell for it.
Couple of things that are really key. You saying I almost fell for it. What do you feel like is that moment when you were like, hell no, I'm going to be me?
Okay, so I always had boyfriends, and like, no disrespect to men, shout out to the male species. I love you guys. You guys are great, and you guys do work hard to be great guys. I know a lot of you do. But I always wanted to go talk to the girls. I didn't want to have conversations on the phone with my boyfriend. I would find ways to get off the phone with my boyfriend to go talk to these girls that I wish were my girlfriends. And that's when I kind of knew, like, I'm playing with y'all. Like, I don't like you guys. Like,
Right.
not like you want me to. Like, you're experiencing all of your first love energy on me, and I don't feel the same. And I'm really real to the core, and I wouldn't break you like that,
Right.
So
right. I don't like you the way you want me to. A lot of times as women, we are told and taught that we must cater to someone else's feelings or desire or outlook on our life, right? And to be able to stand up and say, I don't like you the way you want me to. And you wanting me to like you like that is not enough for me to want you like that.
Yeah.
So what would you say to I can't even say young person, because there are people
It's everybody
who are going through this, like, but to have the power to decide, no, I'm going to be me. Like, what advice do you have for someone who is in that space of maybe who I am is not going to be accepted?
The question is, do you want to be happy or not? It has nothing. I love you, Onyx. I love you. It has, your happiness has nothing to do with anybody else. And I find that the more that I'm more authentic to myself, that's how I make other people happy. I can't give you a me that isn't me,
Yeah. I am reacting to you because this is one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this, because there have been times in my life where you have just shown up for me.
Wow.
In my journey. And I just feel like people can get lost in who you are and your entourage and your music and your success, and they can be dazzled by that. But the beauty and the true talent of you is your core. And I'm so excited that as we talk, like, you are dropping these nuggets, because this is the STEEZO that I feel like the world needs to know. So that when you are getting that Grammy, we know that it's not about the music. It's not just about the music. I mean, you're a dope artist. There's so much more to you than that.
But it's the soul.
Yes.
I
Oh,
love it. I love it. I love you, Onyx. Period. Literally, guys, this is one of my favorite people in the world. So I am just as excited as you, Onyx, to do this. It's everything to me, for
oh.
real.
So since we're on the subject of music, um, which is interesting because we're not going to stay on this subject.
Okay.
Because I feel like your music speaks for itself, but I do have a music question.
Okay.
What does it mean to you to be a dope artist versus a dope LGBT artist?
This is the greatest question ever because there's just levels to things. I've already been a dope LGBT artist. I've gone all over the world. Like I've literally gone everywhere as an LGBT artist. They know me everywhere for my music in the LGBT community, but it's bigger than that for me. My goal is to just be a dope artist, mainstream artist. Like my sexuality has nothing to do with my music. And so for me, all respect and shout outs to the LGBT artists because it's definitely some great ones out there. And, and I salute everybody who is even putting their toe in the fire, attempting to do it. But for me, it's just time. It's just time for that next level. So yeah, I call me a dope artist.
Right.
Just call me a dope artist.
And I think a lot of people, like, they could hear that and say that you are separating yourself, instead of understanding that your sexual, what you do in the bedroom, period. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if same gender loving or not. Is not your full identity.
Yeah. Can I add to that too? I'd like to say that I realize that the LGBT artists are looking up to me as well. So it's time for me to go to the next level so they can believe that they can go to the next level. So it's just, it's a big thing for me lately has been representation matters. They need to see me make it, as a dope artist, and not just this LGBT thing. It's time to, it's time to move just to inspire the culture.
And how is that process going for you? Do you feel like it's a difficult move, a difficult shift, or do you feel like the industry is ready to embrace you with open arms?
It's never easy, but I feel like marketability matters. And so they are ready to, embrace me with open arms. But, it comes with a lot of compromise. It comes with a lot of understanding. You can't be one of those people who feels like it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
So I've had to bend and shift and shake a little, but I like where I'm going. I like the direction. And shout out to my team, Jada Records and Back to Black. They're awesome and they're patient with me. We just grow together, honestly.
Growing, no matter what, our audience who's listening, no matter what your field is, being open to growth, being open to guidance is so important.
Yeah.
It really is the key to your success is growth. And there's growing pains, right?
Yeah. Poof. For real. They say new levels, new devils. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes. I definitely when we talk about music, I'm really excited to see you and your representation in areas where there hasn't been representation, and to stand up on your talent and the work that you've done so far. That's going to be a huge win. So, a question.
We got some breaking up.
Your creative energy comes out many. Can you hear me?
Wait.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. As a creative, your creative expression can come out different ways, right? Why music for you?
It happens naturally. When I'm, when I'm scared, I sing. When I'm happy, I sing. When I'm depressed, I sing. It happens. I want people to look for the thing that their heart does or they just do naturally. That's your thing. People work so hard to find what is my niche, what is my thing, what do you just do naturally, what happens, what just oozes out of you, no matter if you're trying or not. That's why music. Tay always says, Tay is my wife. Tay always says, you show your love through music. That's how you give your love. And that's me. It just music happens. I don't have to force music.
Right. I feel like you have, I'll speak in my language. I feel like you have ministered to somebody with that statement. A lot of times we try to fight what comes natural.
Yeah, it's weird. Why?
Like fall into it. So you mentioned Tay, whom I absolutely adore. So I wanted to talk about marriage. Okay. So I am like, I have been married and divorced several times. I am like, not ashamed of that. But marriage is work, is hard work. And you got married at a young age. So first of all, why marriage, and why at the time that you got married?
When I got married, this is something that most people don't know. When I got married to Tay, I lost everything. And the only thing that remained with a smile on his face looking at me was Tay. And so, I mean, I married my friend. She's so loyal and so kind, so understanding. If I drop a tear, she's there to catch it before it doesn't even get to come out my eye before she has done the work to make sure that it's gone. So it was my family, I'm used to tough love, Tay gave me love because every human deserves love. I didn't have to earn it. I didn't have to work so hard to get her thumbs up, and I just recognized that is what I'm looking for in a partner, in a marriage. Like that is what I need to, be great. Like I need that energy. So you know what I'm saying? I put a ring on it. For real.
Wow. Beautifully stated. I think you guys are amazing together, and I think it takes a very special person to be married to an artist.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Listen, I wouldn't do it either. It takes a lot. A certain kind of love, a certain kind of loyalty. And just to hear you say that, because, a lot of times in today's climate, marriage isn't the go-to, it's not the thing, and so let me ask this question, because it's obvious you are very attractive. Your music, your everything just adds to like, your sex appeal. And so I know there are women all over you in the DMs all over. Like, how do you manage that temptation?
I mean, I'm not really easily tempted. That's honestly the truth. Like usually I'm so deep in my work that I don't even have time to pay attention. Like you like me? Cool. Cool. Like it's just like cool. Like, it just takes more to like, temptation. What is it like? You get tempted by their what, and then maybe you want to have sex with them. Like what exactly is temptation? Like you saw this person for the first time, they said a few words to you, and now you want to risk everything to go talk to this person who, like, you put in no work. Like, you're pretty. What can you do? Like, what do you, like, I really don't care. I would rather you like my music, and I would rather you you know, respect my marriage, because that's showing me your qualities. You're a good person, you know.
Right.
And then in the back of my mind, I might be like, oh my gosh, she's awesome, but I'm still loyal, and I'm still like, I just don't care. I just say that I just don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
that is a boss answer. It is, and not just because it's like, you know, cheating is bad, but just because that's real talk. Like,
Yeah.
you're working, and you know, yeah.
Like, I'm good. Tay does her job. Like, I'm not looking like I'm like, and if Tay is ever, you know, say like, you know, it's been a day or two when I haven't, you know, gotten pleased or haven't gotten what I want, I'm going to tell her that, and she's going to give it to me. It's communication. You know what I mean? Like, I get what I want. You know, she spoils the crap out of me. I'm fine. I don't need that.
I love that. I pull from that, not just the spoiled part, but also the communication part. And so I would love for you to share with us, and I'm sure communication is one of them, like 3 things that make a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage.
Honesty, communication, and sex. I mean, you know, you gotta, I mean, I think people try to kick sex out because, you know, people just try to kick sex out, but it matters. It matters just as much as the communication and, you know, and the honesty. And honest communication is really what has made Tay and I's relationship soar, just because I'm going to tell you what it is, even if it hurts. Like, I'm just gonna tell you because I want you to know. I want you to grow with me. I want you to let go of that thing I don't like. You know, like I have to tell you. And I hope, you know, anytime that she feels anything, if I need to grow or, you know, anything, like, tell me.
Right. Right. Beautiful. Yes. And talking about honesty is talking about the importance of sex or intimacy in a relationship. So I think that's really, really important. So, you know, I want to jump into some social justice and some politics. And I know, you know, please, I don't want your label to get upset with me, because I know as artists, you know.
Let me show you. This is what we're going to do.
Yes.
Everybody, this is going to make my label happy. Go download my new single, Hater. It's out everywhere. I mean, literally, you can find it on any music platform. It is STEEZO, Hater. And pretty much we're just showing that it's no room for hate. And everyone should be free to be themselves. So this song will definitely give you life. It'll give you what you need. All right, Onyx, we're good.
Good. Awesome. Thank you for that. So I want to talk a little bit about the Black woman. Okay. In today's climate, we're dealing with 2 realities, right? We have the Black woman who seems to be one of the most disrespected people, you know, and then we also have the Black woman who is showing on so many levels that they are rising to the top, not just with our new vice president, but just when it comes to entrepreneurship, careers, degrees, salaries, right? So we have 2. And they're 2 polar opposites.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? Like, how do Black women navigate this time?
Say that last part again, and broke up.
Yeah, how do Black women navigate this time?
Well, first, I feel like any woman or any person, period, should have faith in their belief in God, you know, or a higher power, or whatever they believe in, to take them, you know, far. But I face the Black woman thing on many levels. I'm also a Black lesbian who happens to, you know, present very masculine. So I go through, you know, a lot with that, but, you know, more power to the Black woman. I feel like, you know, like you say, Kamala, she's doing her thing. Black women are really taking over. I think we're stepping out of that whole Black women are the most disrespected, and we're claiming our power. But what I will say is the one thing that they try to throw at us when we are becoming these successful Black women is the angry Black woman stereotype when we speak our mind.
Right.
And that's what I don't like. I think that Black women bite their tongue a lot when they're uncomfortable or when they're put in, you know, these crazy positions where they definitely should speak up, but people don't want them to speak up. What I'll say to Black women is don't be silenced. If you're brilliant, be brilliant, you know, be fearless, you know, and you can do everything. And you know, not getting too deep into the stereotypes because we're breaking them. Like we're not Black women will not take a step back. You get what I'm saying? We won't take the step back, you know, like we are great. We won't be the most disrespected, you know, we're not going for it because at this point we know our worth.
Right. Absolutely. I hope you guys didn't miss that. STEEZO didn't say you can do anything. STEEZO said you can do everything.
Oh, yes.
And that is key because we're taught, you know, you got to pick one thing. You could only be in one lane. That narrative fails us.
Yeah. It does. It does. All you have to do is be great, you know, and a lot of things are, you know, oh man, you just talk about like that intuition that we get and that, you know, everything that comes with us and who we are the mothers, you know what I mean? We are that, you know, we are the shea butter and cocoa butter. We are healing. We are essence. We are all of these things, you know, closest thing to God. And it's like, know that. Don't let anybody make you feel like you aren't that, you know?
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. I'm the ultimate feminist, okay? So feminist that I've decided to date women. I love women. I love them, okay? Literally just be great. Be great and be everything that you know you are, not what they told you should be. And don't minimize yourself. Never minimize yourself.
Yes. Never minimize yourself. So you talked a little bit about the importance of, you know, having that faith center or a spirit, God, however that shows up in your life. Can you talk to me a little bit about your faith and your core and your spirituality and the role it plays in your life and your career?
God is everything for me. You know, like I am walking with God, talking to God every freaking second. Every single moment I'm like in a constant state of prayer. And it's necessary. Like I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do if I didn't have God first. If I didn't have those conversations with God, like, God, why am I here? What am I meant to do? Like, do you like this, God? Like, this is pleasing to you, right? Like, this is like, it's literally God is everything to me. So I could talk for days for real on just God and spirit and, you know, what's happened for me, to me, through me. But just for anyone looking and who really wants to understand the power and how I do what I do, literally, I just keep God first. And again, I'm in a constant state of prayer.
So I just want to really thank you for sharing that and for saying that. You know, I speak about God all the time to the point where I feel like some people.
Yeah, you see how you get that smile when you get to talk about God? It's deep. Come on, give it to me, sis. Give it.
Man, you know, God is, period. I putting amazing on it, it doesn't even live up to it.
Yeah, you know? It's no word. It's no word. It's just when you know, you know.
Exactly.
When you know, you know.
And a lot of times I think that, especially in the LGBT community, people feel like God is not accessible to them, or they feel like they are not deserving, or they have shackles around spirituality. And I just love when people show up and allow God to shine through them and are not afraid to say, this is God. So I thank you.
Oh yeah. Cause woo. Yeah, I understand. Like oozing what God will do through you Just that was my statement. Oozing what God will do through you. You know, that's really me. When I'm on the stage, I just say a prayer. You know, when I'm in the studio, I say a prayer. Like it's always understanding that I'm a tool. You know.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, and I don't necessarily expect you to have, the answer, but I would love your opinion on the answer. For anyone who's kind of struggling with finding that faith center or building that relationship where they can be in prayer and in conversation with God and hear God back, like what is some advice you have to help them build that?
It's hard to say without just being blunt and saying, like, remember that time you made it out of something and you didn't understand how you made it out of that? That's called God. You get what I'm saying? If you don't want to believe in him, then you need something to believe in a higher power, but something shows up and shows out when it's necessary, and it's happening in all of our lives. If you choose to ignore that, then I don't have advice for if you choose to ignore it, but please understand that you're here. Look at everything you have. I believe in God because I do. I feel God. I do. I don't know, Onyx. I don't know how to make somebody believe in something that's just so there.
Right. And I get that. But I think you did a great job in talking about, remember that moment that you didn't think you were going to get out of it. That's God. And I just love that expression. So let's talk about this branding thing. We talked about it in the beginning, right? I see you as like this branding master because I have watched this brand unfold. And so I want to talk a little bit about, you have several viral videos, but I want to talk about this first really big viral video. Tell us what that video was and tell me how it felt as you watched those numbers jump and those views jump and it being shared.
Man, so I'm gonna start from the top of that day.
Okay.
That day, I woke up with so much energy. That day, I felt more alive than I had ever felt. I went to the gym, I'm just busting it out in the gym. I'm like high energy. I'm like, whoa, whoa. And so I'm in the car just full of this energy. I go live. I got my titty tape on. Like, I'm like, period. Like, let's show these folks titty tape. Like, we're going to get some sales. Like, period. Like, I'm feeling this. And so, I go live. I'm literally talking for maybe a maximum 2 minutes and just, titties out, titty tape, I get off, I think I went to eat. I go to my phone and like my numbers on my Facebook are jumping so freaking fast that like, I can't, like, every time I look at it, it's refreshing. Like, it's just refreshing. It's constantly refreshing. And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm going viral, right? I said that. And then I went to sleep. The next morning I wake up, like Trina, Boosie, whole bunch of celebrities have posted it. And I'm like, yo, like, I just went viral. And it's one thing, to go viral, because I also went viral, like in a dress, being goofy, I have a few, viral videos, but like this one meant more because this one was truly, this is my business.
Yes.
Like, and then boom, therealtittytape.com is at the bottom of the screen for sure. I love it. Like, this literally, because for real, y'all, like doing the entrepreneur thing, the music thing, like I was probably broke when I made that video. Like, I was probably like for real in need of, some money. I was in need of somebody to see, you know, my product like I needed it. And before I knew it, I had my family from Germany calling me like, cuz somebody just showed me this video and it's you know, and Titty Tape has made it to Africa. It's made it, I mean, it's pretty much made it all over the world. I'm being duplicated by so many people, even Kim Kardashian. You talk about like, I don't know, you're nothing to somebody duplicates you. I learned that today. And it meant everything to me when I learned it. Like, you're no one to somebody duplicates you. And literally, it's just amazing to see my product everywhere.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with you a couple of months ago, and it was about going viral because, you know, I teach, you know, YouTubers how to make content. And you said people who go viral for clout, you really don't have time for it, because if you're going viral, it needs to be connected to your brand or your business. It is not about the fame.
No.
So how did you connect or enhance your business in your brand based on that video and make it so that it was not just a one-time thing where people know the name, but people continue to go to your site, people continue to copy, and people continue to buy your product? How did you bridge that gap?
I made sure I was seen, continued to go live, you know, every Pride, I'm there. I'm in my Titty Tape, you know, and luckily because it sells, you know, then my fans wear it and they take it, you know, on vacation to, you know, Turks and Caicos or somewhere crazy. And now they're on the beach with it and then they tell people. And so it's been a word of mouth thing, but also just being present, you know, and you know, always put your name on your stuff, guys. This is so serious. Always, like, it's not real Titty Tape if it doesn't say STEEZO. You get what I'm saying? And so, like, put your name on your stuff. You know, make it classy, make it beautiful, be professional. You know, but you can really go far with social media and your brand and going viral. There is a formula to going viral, but what I say 110% is put out content. You have to put out content. You never know what will go viral. I didn't know that day that I would go viral and Titty Tape would be what it is today. I had no clue. I had no clue. I could only have hoped, prayed, and dreamt for that moment to happen. And it did. So I just say put out things, guys. And you know, always be professional. It works.
Yeah. Great advice. A lot of times I call it, we need to pop the humble bubble, because we are told we need to pop that bubble. And so there's a difference with being humble in spirit and being humble as it relates to you know, connecting with other people, versus how we're taught humble is, which a lot of times is to step back, is to not be proud, to not stand out. And we need to burst that humble bubble, because that is what stops us from putting our name on products. That's what stops us from jumping on live whenever we have something to say, because we think we're being too much.
Yeah, man. Okay. Onyx, I love you for that, because one of the biggest things with me, and sometimes I've let it upset me in the past. Now I have a new understanding, so I don't even care. But like, people have called me cocky or arrogant in the past. And it's like, these are what is happening is you are perceiving bravery incorrectly. This is courage, not cockiness. I'm literally, like, every day I have to step into these shoes. Like, this is how I've chosen to feed my family. This is how I've chosen to live my life. This is me. And if I don't put my name on it, then no one knows it came from STEEZO. If I don't walk in here with my shoulders back and my head up, then you looking like, why should I believe in this person? They don't even believe in themselves. So what I'm doing is being a leader. And when people tell you to be humble, they're telling you to sit down. It's like, I'm always humble. There is no ego, because God is, like, when I said God comes first, I'm being used. This ain't about me. This ain't about me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just walking in it, and I'm doing what is necessary. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, again, I have to say that one more time. Stop confusing people's courage or people's bravery for arrogance or cockiness. When you step into these shoes, you have to be that person. You can't be weak. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
period.
Well, period. Period. Well
For
said.
real.
I deal with the same type of criticism in my, in my industry and in my field.
But you're
And
outstanding. I'm taking my moment to say it. Like, I learned so much from you over the years, and I love everything that you are. And if people call you anything, you are the shit. Okay. And have been from, the time I met you, so forget what they say. Like,
I
for real.
appreciate that. Thank you for that. So I want to know. I don't, it's like, I'm not sure how you're going to answer this question. Because sometimes when I ask some of my celebrities and I put you in a celebrity box, okay,
Yes, good.
there's no difference between interviewing you and interviewing Felicia Rashad, celebrity box. What are you, what are you afraid of?
See, okay. Okay. So what I will say is, honestly, many things.
Mm-hmm.
Many things. But I'm going to take this time to flip it again and talk about courage, because there are so many things that, get me in a moment. I want to live forever. I don't want to be stung by a bee. Unless it's Beyonce's Beehive bee,
Beehive.
But yeah, like, I don't necessarily like spiders. There's so many things to be afraid of in this world. We are programmed to fear so many things, and I would just like to put a break and shift in the programming, and not just focus on what actually makes me scared. I just say you have two options: you have fear or you have love. And when you run towards love, you'll be fine. And that's just it. Because I fear many things.
Right. Beautifully stated. My biggest fear in life was breast cancer. Biggest fear.
Wow.
Since I was a
Yeah.
kid. Biggest fear. When cancer came knocking on my door, I knew that if I succumbed to the fear, I would not heal.
Yeah.
So
you better say that. Yeah.
That's a big example, but I see that play out in so many little places, like no matter what you're afraid of, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel that and to honor that in you. But like you said, what is that alternative? What is the alternative? And I love that it's love.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Also, too. Oh, my bad. Can I?
Go ahead.
Exactly. I was just gonna say. Actually, I kind of think I forgot. We had like a clash just then. It just bumped the thought out of my head. Let me think. Oh, I was gonna say, to anybody dreaming or working on their dream, if it doesn't scare you, you aren't dreaming big enough. You just have to have the courage. Like, you will always be scared. Everything is scary. The world is scary. It's scary. It's freaking scary out here. But like, be fearless. Like, you can do it. You'll be surprised. And the best way to get over what you fear is to just go ahead and do it. That's my motto. Like, if it scares me, I gotta go do it. I gotta go do it because I'm scared. For real.
Yeah. If your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. It's so true.
For real.
It's so true. I know I'm afraid, or I have anxiety about the massiveness of my vision, and but I love that space. It's like, bring it on. Let's do it.
Yeah, and that's when the warrior comes out.
Yeah.
And that's when it's dope,
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to your strength and your courage.
Yes. So what is your hope for the future of music and the music industry?
Big time, Well, I have to say this hope because it's a natural hope. I do want to be on top of the music industry. I
Uh-huh.
really do. That's my hope for it,
Mhm.
to be one of those people who is really setting the trend for self-love
Right.
and, being who I am, but same time, I want people in music to be able to be themselves.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
Yes. Um, it's so interesting with the music industry in particular. Um, it's like you are marketed to be relatable and to kind of be yourself, but your who you are is can easily be stripped away to fit whatever the market is you are trying to get to the top of. And so
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that it's an easy task to remain yourself in this industry. What are some things that, like, some promises to yourself that you have made that you stand on as you continue to climb?
It doesn't matter what it is, be STEEZO.
Mm,
I the one thing that has gotten me this far, keep
mhm.
God first. We're gonna say that, and
Right.
and remember who STEEZO is.
Yes.
I don't care if I'm in a sombrero and high heels, just to jump extremes. That
Right.
STEEZO part is what matters the most. So
Right.
yeah, and you really have to get to that point because again, it's about marketing. And when you're marketing to the masses, things naturally have to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't want to change, then you know that's okay. Be
Yeah.
where you are and make noise where you are. But there
Mhm.
are certain levels that require change
Mhm.
and compromise. And if
Mhm. Mhm.
if you can't do it, it's not for you. Me,
Right.
on the other hand, I am doing well with the compromises.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a big thing. Compromise. But there's
And
power in
commitment.
compromise.
Oh yeah.
There's power in compromise. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, what is the hope for the future of your marriage and your relationship?
I'm ready for kids, man. I'm ready
Stop.
for kids. Like I know, like Tay and I are good. And again, one that I'm gonna keep saying it, God first, we're
Yeah.
good. And so I'm ready for kids. I'm ready
Wow.
for, you know, just just that rock star lifestyle with my babe,
Yeah.
and just raising loving kids who are fearless and
Yeah.
who just shine. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That is
ready.
beautiful. I'm just gonna say I'm ready to be a godmom. So
Okay, come on, because we sending them to your house so they can learn all the stuff that you taught me. Period. For real. I
yeah.
remember. I'm gonna tell a story real quick, if you don't mind. I
Yeah.
remember, so Onyx and I are close, and there was one time where I was her chauffeur, before I was this big STEEZO, okay? And I took her to do these like ballet classes with these 5-year-olds. The 5-year-olds were off the chain. They were running, they were jumping, they were just doing all kind of stuff. Onyx had them so like mannerable and in order, and they were in their little tutus just freaking tapping. It was the cutest thing. And she just gave them all the morals and the good principles for life and just how to be great. And it was such an experience. So yeah, I'm sending my kids to you, and if you're signing up for godmom, then you have it. For real.
Send them on. Thank you for sharing that story. Yeah, that's funny. Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Awesome. I think Tay is going to be an amazing mother. So are you. So I definitely, pray for your big, beautiful family.
Thanks.
So what is your hope for the future of our nation that seems to be really divisive right now?
I'm seeing the bigger picture. I'm seeing the bigger picture. Again, shout out to Joel and Kamala. I don't know if it's Kamala or Kamala. I really don't. And I always want to say her name right, but until
Right.
she says it to me, I don't know. But shout out to them. I really feel the world is going into this accepting type of, playing field where I just feel like things are just getting better. So my hope for the nation is just that it continues to grow and people's eyes continue to open.
Right.
And that, racism can be something that is completely just dead, you
Right.
know, from here out, because it's unnecessary. And I
Right.
feel as humans, we can build together and grow together,
Yeah.
and we can see heights that, humans have never seen. I
Yeah.
think it's all about unity and just what we can do as a whole. And also, just to plug it again, this is something that I talk about a lot now in my music. Just like there's no reason to hate on other people for who they are, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for all the hate to be gone,
Mhm.
hate for the LGBT, hate for, people being black. Now people hate white people. People just,
Right.
it's too much hate. And again, download my song Hater, because there's no need for all the hate. And so I'm just looking for a more positive future when it comes to
Yeah.
the nation.
I touch and agree on that
Period.
statement. Yeah, hate as we evolve, hate loses its place.
Yeah.
Hate
Yeah.
loses its place.
Yeah. And because hate, ultimately it's fear. And I'm ready for the world to get out of its fear stage and get
Yeah,
into its love stage. And
yeah.
that's really what I feel is coming. I
Mhm.
just feel so much love. And um before, like, it seemed like people were more conditioned to hate and they were more ready to hate. But now I
Right.
feel like people are more ready to love. Like, and
Absolutely.
when you really start touching the hands of people, I don't care what media says. When you really are out here and you're touching the hands of people, they
Yes.
want to love. They want to
Yes.
come together. They want to feel each other. They want to understand.
Yes.
So I'm happy, because I do believe that's what's happening. We are coming out of that fear mindset to where what we don't understand, we fear, and so we hate it. And we're going
Mhm.
into, like, what we don't understand, we ask questions and we learn to love, and we
Right.
learn that even if we don't have the same view,
Right.
we can still stand in love,
Yes.
because of our differences. So
Stand in love. Oh, I love that so much. So what is so this is my last hope for the future question. I just love asking these questions, but
I love
this is
it.
a little bit more personal. What is your hope for the future of your relationship with self?
I want to see, I have these little things that I do to where I stay, in tune with myself. And
Mhm.
a lot of them require nature.
Mhm.
I know how to get quiet. Like the other
Mhm.
day, I was sitting in a tree, okay, looking for higher perspectives, different
Wow.
viewpoints. Just, I wanted to get off of that surface ground level and just get up in a tree. And
Literally in a tree, STEEZO?
yeah, I was in a tree. I really was. I was in a tree. And
Wow.
my hope for self is to just continue to know self, to
Mm.
continue to be okay with self, continue to love self. It took a long time to get to the point where I looked in the mirror and I said, "You are great." And it didn't come from, like this superficial thing to, like, oh, my skin is finally clear and I have this beautiful, cute ponytail. It's deeper than that. It's more like, you did like 7 good deeds this week. Like, you stopped and helped somebody change a tire, and you've been honest, and you helped your mom cut the grass. Like, those things keep me in love with self. And as long as again, I continue to put God first, and I continue to love people, and I continue to give out good energy and good things, I know I'll be okay with self, because my morals and my principles, they matter, and they're strong. I have a strong foundation with self, and that allows me to go to the heights that I do.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, like I said at the top of the show, I always like to close out my show with a quote. And I want this to be a tweetable, go down in history, outlive you type of quote. You know,
Yeah.
what knowledge do you want to drop right now? What is your quote?
My quote is literally, never be last if you can be first. Be the best or be amongst them. And that's just it.
Yeah.
Like, do the work. You don't
Yeah.
like never be last if you can be first. Like, it's like a race. If you run in that race, like if you get super tired but you're second, don't settle for second. You almost there. You better push till you can't push no more. You get what I'm saying? And then after you push, if you weren't number one, you're amongst the best.
Yes.
You made it. So, but always push, always give that extra effort. Strive to outdo yourself.
Yes. Strive to outdo yourself. Thank you, STEEZO.
I love you, Onyx.
I love you too. Guys, first of all, thank you for spending an hour with us. I didn't even get to see what you were drinking on tonight.
You didn't get to see. I got a little wine.
You got a little wine.
Yeah. Can I put the label in here, or do we
put it up there? Put it up there.
I've never tried this before, but it's called the Dreaming Tree.
Oh.
And because of what we were talking about tonight, and how it felt, this felt right. The Dreaming Tree. I just said I was in a tree the other day.
Right.
It's a dream, to do this, because a lot of people don't know. Like, the first person who ever told me I was a star for real was Onyx. So, like this is real. This is real. For real. Don't do it. Don't do it. Real. No, don't. Because if you do, I will. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that tonight. We made it through. Okay. We made it through with no tears. We're not doing that.
Yes.
For real. I thank you for all the coaching, and stuff over the years. Like it feels good to, be here. And I was super freaking nervous. Because I still keep you here. Like, I still keep you here. So it's like to sit down and talk to you and be able to give this side of me to people. Like, I've been looking for this for a long time.
Wow. Well, it is my honor. It is my pleasure. I look forward to interviewing you on bigger platforms. I look forward to when you have all your Grammys behind you and I have all my Oscars behind me.
Oh, because they're coming.
And we're talking about how God got us to this point. I look forward to it. I thank you. I thank you for showing up authentically and telling your story. You are impacting the world. You are impacting the community, and you are impacting the music industry. And it's an honor. It's an honor. So I thank you. But before we go, I need you to tell us where we can get this single one more time.
Period. Okay, so you can get this single on all music platforms. It's called Hater. Just type in STEEZO -hater. It'll say haters what can't be me in parentheses. It's a really awesome song, and you really get an insight into who I am. It is that bump that you love about hip hop with some new realness, and you can actually understand the words that I'm saying. So I really do believe you'll love it. Shout out to D Element, the producer. Shout out to Jada Records and Back to Black, my team. We really did our thing with this one, and we got a lot of good stuff coming.
Nice. Thank you so much. Those of you who have been on this journey with us, thank you. We're going to go back. We're going to respond to all the comments. Please share. Please watch the playback. This isn't about us. Yeah. This isn't about, we want the fame for this. This is truly about, there are some nuggets in here that we feel can help somebody. So once again, STEEZO, I love you. Thank you. And until next time.
Period. I love you, Onyx. Thanks again. Y'all have a great night.